It should say
World-renowned human performance expert, executive coach, best-selling author.
And I want to congratulate Ron Kardashian.
Over 12,000 hours of one-on-one coaching and mentorship.
He's a health and cognitive expert.
Known as a spiritual confidant to respected industry leaders. CEO of 3 companies.
Coach and minister Ron Kardashian.
Good friend, Coach Ron Kardashian.
Hey, good day, everyone. Tim Boyko here with wonderful executive coach Ron Kardashian, and we got another awesome episode lined up here for Always Winning in Leadership. So let's dive right into this, Coach Ron.
Thank you so much, Tim. Appreciate you guys going and coming on board. Let me say this, getting into it. We've noticed the algorithm's cut off, so I'm going to give you the secret right off the top. This is the rise of what I call biopsychospiritual development. It is something that has taken over my client's life, the health and longevity of people suffering from terminal illnesses. Tim, you are a living testimony of this program. That's why I have you as the host. And I think I'm at the place in my practice where I want to have discussions with other psychologists. I want to start implementing what I know that works versus what textbooks are trying to teach people that might work. Not negating the fact that there has been great breakthrough in medical science. I'm not undermining practices in any way, but what I'm about to share with you specifically at the end, how this cellular symphony and Brock's and Wernicke's portions in your brain, 2 elements of the frontal lobe, are absolutely critical for your longevity and your career development. And a lot of people don't know how to tap these things. This is the inside circles of what happens in therapeutic sessions or executive coaching practices with coaches like myself who do understand the mind, body, and spirit connection. So I also want to mention something about just what I've observed, go into that a little bit more in depth. I wrote something out here because I wanted this to come from my heart and not miss a beat. You know, Tim, you know this, that I've walked individuals through some of their deepest valleys. I have seen people at the brink of terminal illness, others drowning in silent anxiety, depression, fear, all wrapped around $600,000-$700,000 salaries, $100,000 salaries, $50,000 salaries, $1 million salaries. And many are at the crossroads of these careers and callings, and people are still not content. I want to break that through. I want to create a culture and be a voice that has always been a champion for, I may not be where I want to be, or at least I'm not where I used to be, as someone once said. And you are arriving. But I've witnessed something extraordinary, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a breakthrough that not all transformation is linear, and not all healing comes from a textbook. And I think what's given me an edge is not the conventional route, is what I'm saying. And you know that, Tim, but a relentless pursuit of what I call bio-psycho-spiritual development. And what that means is it's a convergence of neuroscience, biology, your body, cellular biology specifically, and spiritual intelligence. Because we can't just say one doesn't exist without the other. Without you have professionals coming out now, right, Tim, that we've actually seen it and touched it. So much so, last week I was called to come in to see a client of mine, hadn't even become a client, and she was dying of some level of cancer in the stomach. And on top of it, as I arrived, the doctor, infectious disease, had clinically diagnosed her with sepsis. Ladies and gentlemen, at that point in time, all my psychological knowledge is right out the door. The doctors, right out the door. There was one element left that the brain was ready to receive, and that was the spiritual intelligence side. And I think for far too long, we've allowed religion to misconstrue really what the candle of our existence has power to show. Like, as soon as your candle's out, you're out. You know,
Yeah.
you see the body laying there, right, Tim? And
That's right.
something else left that person, but we can't articulate it. And sometimes you don't have to. But what we need to do is explore it and evolve as human beings. And Brock's Broca's area and Wernicke's area, which are the frontal lobes, I'm going to talk about these. They hold the key to how your spoken word, here's the keys, your spoken words and your inner understanding can rewire cells. They can also restore the nervous system, which I've personally observed, and unlock the next level of your personal performance. And I want to salute everybody on this call because notice there's not 100 people here. There's just under 30 that have registered. You are some of the most intelligent and seeking intelligent individuals that I've ever met. So you should really pat yourself on the back because this type of thank you, Tim. This type of conversation does not need length because it has depth. And remember that for your career. Those whose conversations lack depth make up for them in length. It should be short and powerful because we're too busy people. Let's begin with the Cellular Symphony. Oh, God. The Cellular Symphony is a book that I am going to write, so nobody take that. And it's how your words you speak, how the words you speak rewire your brain, body, and beliefs. So if you don't yet believe that you are a C-suite, a director, an SVP, I know I'm starting at the top, moving to the bottom, but anyway, if you don't believe that you're already that position, you will never achieve that position. Beliefs create behavioral changes. So imagine your body as an orchestra, okay? Your whole body. You have organs in the body. There's no play on the word there. There's an organ in your body. And your brain is the connector. We'll get into the organ thing later, which is so profound. Your words are the baton, right, that the conductor is holding. Your cells, they're musicians. And they're waiting for instruction. Cellular Symphony. So when you speak, especially when you speak intentionally, this is the key. Write this down. It's not just, I am great. I am beautiful. I am rich. I am an SVP. And all the fun people make out of the I am list. So you can't just speak that. And partially they're right. You can't, or else we'd all be out of our situation. The key is intentionality. You're not just making noise. You are sending neurochemical commands, Tim, to trillions of cells in the body, and they begin to systemize. Every system in your body listens to what you command it. And this is why commanding yourself or speaking over yourself or the greatest area, I mean, you've seen authors. I think Joe Dispenza wrote a book. I'm learning how to not be myself because we've wired ourselves a certain way. And now, in order to change that, you get into rooms with people who are seeking higher levels of transformation. And the most important, not only those rooms, but seeking the rooms that actually have people with testimonies. And you can look right on my LinkedIn profile. Tim's one of them. I think there's 20 or 30 more who've actually written. There's hundreds. There's thousands. I mean, this woman who just got healed of cancer, she's not well enough to write yet. I'm working with her privately now on stewarding her healing because 90% of people who get sick, terminal cancer, incidentally, I went in and prayed for her and she was healed. I don't take any credit for it. I don't take any credit for it. I completely just yield myself and my cells to God Almighty and said, God, if you can do it, do it. If you can't, you can't. He did it. It's as simple as a belief.
Yeah.
Don't complicate it. This is not motivational hype. This is molecular instruction, ladies and gentlemen. When you say, I feel like I'm falling apart, your cells believe you. When you say, why am I such an ass? Your cells believe you. I used to tell myself that all the time. You're such a jerk. You're such an ass. You're such a loser. The cells begin to believe that, and neurons that fire together wire together. I want to make this very elementary. But when you say, I am healing, I am safe, I love you, which sounds a little weird in the beginning, your immune system adjusts. Suzanne Summers was probably one of the most interesting, beautiful, creative health and fitness experts of, she was really big in the 80s, 90s, 70s. She came down with a form of cancer, and she began her exploration in the nutraceutical world and natural immunological functional medicine and homeopathology. And she wrote a very powerful book about how she used to speak to her cells. It was the first time I heard this. She used to tell her cells, "I love you," every morning. And she miraculously was able to turn around her health.
Wow, that's awesome.
Isn't that powerful, Tim?
That is powerful, very powerful.
Now, I'm not the only one who's seen this. Tim, chime in on your last 25 years of being a Christian man. We don't even like the word Christian. Hitler called himself a Christian. We like the word spiritual. We like the word kingdom. We like the word Judeo-Christian ethics, right? Bible foundation. Tell briefly, have you seen miraculous turnarounds in the health and longevity of people's lives? Start with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, just personally, I've lost really, when you realize who you are and you get free from the shame, when I sit there and you're not seeing a before image of me, but I used to weigh over 330 pounds. And when you change what you speak over yourself, it changes your behaviors. And now I didn't need a diet. I needed a lifestyle change. And it starts with the thoughts and then your words and what you declare over yourself. And a couple of years later, the journey was about a year, but within a year, losing just under 100 pounds.
And then share with them that you had struggled with that. And the simple that I want to just explain right now is epigenetics.
Yeah.
Beyond what was it beyond your genetics that transformed you? You got into the room with experts who stopped giving lip service and actually were giving you heart service.
Correct.
This is a major component to it, because a lot of people have worked with therapists who have the degree, but they don't have the heart. Not to say
Correct.
that they have a bad heart. We don't know. No man knows the heart of man. I avoid all judgmentalism. I'm looking to the fruit. No fruit, check the root. No
Yeah.
transformation, check the internal information. Because you don't know why you're not changing, yet you know something needs to change. It could be the person. Why? They have a cellular symphony themselves.
Correct.
And this is the harsh reality of therapeutic therapy, is that if I'm not changing in the room with you, then I need to change my room. It's nothing against you, period. And it's okay to do that. Number one, why this isn't woohoo theology, this is neurobiology. Number one, meet Dr. Candace Pert. She is the trailblazing neuropharmaceuticologist, from Georgetown University. She discovered that cells have memory and emotion, Tim. This means that your body isn't just storing calories, it's storing communication, patterns, emotion, verbal, and neurological. Make a note of this. I am not just storing calories. I am storing communication patterns. So this isn't motivational hype. You got to tell yourself this and then forward this to 10 people. It's molecular instruction. It's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to evolve. It's time for us to get the promotion. It's time for you to become wealthy. You can become wealthy. Anyone who tells you that you can't, that's a hardwire system forming a limiting belief that is blocking you right away. Maybe you're called to do what Tim and I are called to. Last week, we dug another well. If I just had enough for myself, I wouldn't be able to do it. Do you see what I mean? I'm always thinking about how can I create more revenue to help more people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
When you say, I feel like I'm falling apart, your cells believe you. When you say, I'm healing, I'm safe, I love you, your immune system adjusts. Part two, or number two, the two brain regions that control your cellular symphony. Let's break these down. We called them, you can just call them B-dub, BW. Brokaw's area, which is the gate of intention. Brokaw's area is the gate of intention. It is located in the left frontal lobe. Now, you know, I've talked about this. Dr. Daniel Amen endorsed my work on the frontal lobe. It is the executive center of the brain. It is the cerebral frontal cortex. It is responsible for impulse control, focus, and forethought. Brokaw's is just to the left, and she turns your thoughts into spoken words. So people have speech pattern problems or they can't articulate. I had a lady saying, God, you've articulated what I've been trying to say. This is Brokaw's area. You can condition it. Every time you speak out loud with intention, which is our underlining key, intention. What is intention? Well, let's think of what it's not. Um, let's use the word coherence, because my intention is tied to how coherent I am when I'm listening to you and when I'm speaking. Like right now, I am 100% coherent into you, even though I have somebody recording me over here. I've got a camera here. I got my cell phone here. I got the dog over there. I am completely coherent to you. And coherent parallels with intentionality, meaning I am deeply intentional about listening to you. And then when I'm by myself, I am deeply intentional about speaking over myself. That has to do with coherence. So the opposite of that is incoherent. I'm not listening to you. I'm looking at my cell phone. I'm paying attention to the individual in my office. I'm looking at the dog. I am distracted. Distraction has climbed 100-fold in the last 10 years with our cell phones. We're constantly distracted. So it takes away from my deep intention for transformation, purpose, and promotion. Does that make sense, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the science behind this is that the neuroplasticity, or rewiring your brain, because I know I'm getting science, but I'm teaching you how to use this in a minute, and influences science is, I wrote this down in my notes, activates neuroplasticity, which is rewiring your brain, and it influences digestion, immune function, and stress regulation. So every time you speak with intention, this could either upset you, which we know, if you've gotten into an argument with someone, say, I'm feeling very ill, I don't feel good, I need a break, I need to get away. Some people will say, I need to go have a drink. That's what I used to say. So my brain was defaulting to alcohol after the stressful situation. And what it was doing, it was building a neurological connection and tying dopamine and serotonin to that. So now I'm chemically caught and I can't get out. So I'm helping you get out so you can become more seasoned, more articulate, and talk about this job, this career, this advancement, and increase productivity on every sphere of influence, all by one muscle in the body, the tongue. What's fascinating about the tongue is that it has 16 to 19 different sectors in it. So pound for pound, it is the strongest muscle in the body, Tim. Of course, they'll argue gluteus maximus. You have 630 to 680 additional muscles in the body, but this little battlefield right here got a lot of people in trouble. Right?
Absolutely.
Think of Brokaw's like the conductor lifting the baton. So she's your cells pay attention only when you speak with intention. And she moves them. This is where we get Proverbs 18:21, which is one of my favorite biblical proverbs. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. So this was written thousands and thousands of years ago, that the death of the body is in the tongue, the death of your career. I know a guy who mouthed off at a police officer one day. He was completely innocent, couldn't control his tongue. He's doing a couple years in prisons for assault and battery. Oh, couldn't control it. Okay, now let's look at Wernicke's area, which I call the sanctuary of understanding. So you have the two brain regions. One is the gate of intention, which is Brokaw's, and then Wernicke's area, same place, left frontal lobe. She's right there. You got one. You got a Wernicke. You got a BW. And it understands and interprets what's heard or read. So it understands With all thy getting, get understanding, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to excel in life, you must understand why you're going to excel. What is the purpose behind your acceleration? It's not just building a mission, vision, and value. Those are very important, but why? Why do you exist? This is going to accelerate your career and your productivity every day. I know exactly why I exist. I exist to make sure you succeed. It's all over our websites. Well, don't you exist for science and advancement, and you're in clinics and you're studying the brain? Yes. But all of that is for you. All of that is for me. I am called to make sure you succeed and eventually maybe even get to heaven. We only have 80 to 120 years here. My practice is changing deeply because I'm getting calls from people who just don't want to make money. They don't want to be famous. They want to be eternal. They want to live a long time. They want to live healthy. They want to be known and leave a legacy. A lot of people, I may cut you off right there. If that's you, that's you. It's fine. Leave. Doesn't matter to me. We've got to be like that. We are here to take people to the next level who are seriously involved with the sanctuary of understanding. I deeply want to understand the theory behind my productivity and not just say, oh, give me 3 keys to be more productive. Well, they're not working for you. You can get them for free all over the place, right? When you believe the words you speak, even if you heard them from yourself, Wernick's area lights up. That's where lasting meaning is created. That's where it's created. Lasting meaning, right? Think of Wernick's like the audience inside your body, the part of your brain that confirms, I agree, let's make it happen. That's what she's doing. I refer to her as a female because I have a tendency to listen to my wife a lot more than myself, right? Try to at
Great
least.
man there. That's what I do. My wife
Smart
is
man
the
there.
wisest person I know.
She told me for years, you're an addict. You're an addict. I didn't want to believe it. Wernick's area. I wasn't agreeing to make it true. I wasn't seeking to understand. It wasn't until I got free. How I got free was understanding the disease, understanding the pathways of addiction. That doubled, tripled, quadrupled productivity. And it's happening for every client that comes into our clinic. Okay, part 3. Here's how you do it all as we wrap it up. This is what I give my executive coaching clients. Tim, you knew we went through this weeks on end. I'm doing it now with this lady who was just healed of cancer. Now we're stewarding the healing. 90% of people who have a divine touch, which I believe Wernick's and Brokaw's are altars, Tim. And it's where heaven meets biology. I mean, who do you think put these in the brain? A monkey? You know what I mean? Osmosis? We're higher dimensional thinkers now. We're way too intelligent to see that the intricacy and the beauty of the human being was delicately woven by the hand of a creator. Absolutely 100. You can't convince me otherwise. And we'll talk about that more in our next show. If you're interested, we dive deep into the spiritual component, validating all this. Can you imagine what the next show is going to be like, Tim? We do this on YouTube Live if you're interested. Stand up with your hand. Well, you can't stand now, but you put your hand on your heart. And I want you to take 3 slow breaths in, 2, 3, and I want you to breathe out. I speak life to my cells. I love you. Speak life to my cells. I love you. Now, at first, this is going to sound unorthodox, weird, strange. But all of a sudden, what happens is, and this is what was proven already at Stanford. I mean, you name it. We talked about Dr. Candace Park. She was at Georgetown, that the cells begin to literally light up. They're responding molecularly. It's no different than when someone flips you off on the road and you see them and the hair on the back of your neck stands out. That's cellular biology, ladies and gentlemen. You're having a neurological manifestation of someone else's behavior. You can do this to yourself. And it works, and it works fast. Yeah. One of the things I like to repeat daily is I'm activating Brokaw's area. I am a well-articulated individual. See, my brain trying to process that? It's not natural for me to say that. I don't say that publicly to people. I'm very articulate. It sounds like arrogance. But to myself, I'm saying I'm a very articulate individual. I have deep empathy and compassion. I am patient, loving, and kind. I wasn't patient, loving, and kind. So you had to rewire, refire so we could go higher. Does that make sense, Tim?
Yeah.
You stimulate vernix area with understanding it. You go, oh, okay, this makes sense. Here's the science. Coach Ron's got actual studies. I just read all 30 people. Man, if it worked for them, it can work for me. Then you release neuropeptides, which are just phenomenal. This is healing chemicals. You could take peptides. A lot of us are taking them. A lot of people are taking GLP-1s right now. Ozempic is one. These are peptides. Peptides are strands of amino acids. They're building blocks of protein. You have neuropeptides that are formed from the brain and the heart. We're going to get into the heart connection here because intention pulls from the center of the heart, which science is now showing has its own neurons that act like a brain. So that's why I'm using the word intention without getting too scientific. And you engage of course, what I love, the vagal tone, which is parasympathetic nervous system. This is helping you balance your stress levels and your nervous system. I had a client last night, maybe she's listening. She dealt with severe trauma. It just came out. She goes, why do I talk like this, coach? The trauma is attached to the nervous system and it's coming out in business. So she got not a reprimand, but one of the bosses had mentioned something to her about sounding arrogant. She's not an arrogant person. It's hindering the promotion. So what do we fix? We fix the nervous system. Promotion increases. Now, why does this matter to your career? Well, in high performance environments like the NFL, we're going to the NBA next week. I've got a proposal into one of the WNBAs. We're helping them understand neurobiology. Whether you're a CEO, coach, nurse, athlete, executive, internal coherence is the production hack. You pay attention to yourself. How are you feeling? How did you feel after you were with that person? How did you feel after the therapy session? How did you feel after the team meeting? Get in touch with that, because when your thoughts, words, and biology begin to agree, you move faster, you feel stronger, and you move quicker. And this is called bio-optimization for leaders. You want to biohack your brain. You do it through being intentional. So if you want to go higher, you want to go behind mindset into molecular mastery, I want you to DM me. You don't have to do it in the thread there, but DM me Symphony. Just say Symphony, and I'll send you a private link to my upcoming coaching intensives where we will just move past positive thinking into neuro-linguistic transformation. Nerve language. And let's work this powerful muscle in your body that will begin to speak the type of person you not only want to become, but that person deep down inside you probably already are. It's just a little dormant. This is the power of Brokaw's and Wernick's theory of the unstoppable brain that increases productivity. I'm Coach Ron Kardashian. Tim Boyko. Till next week.